Welcome back to the Mr. Keeyzo's Corner. I got some special guests in here today. I know I always say that, but these guys are historic, especially to me, coming from Hollis, Queens, in the hip-hop era. I think this was one of the first, I think this is the first, let me correct myself, this is the first rap record I ever heard. My father used to be a sometime DJ, so he tried to DJ, but this was one of the songs that he played next to Richard Pryor. Sugarhill Gang is in the building. We got Wonder Mike, and we got Leland Robinson.
What's happening, y'all?
What's going on?
What's going on?
What's up?
I appreciate y'all coming through, man.
Appreciate being
y'all
here with
coming
you.
through. Man, how does it feel to be the first?
Well, I tell you, I never get used to it.
No?
Actually, I never get used to it. Sometimes when I'm out shopping for groceries, somebody will come up and, ask for a photo or an autograph, and still sometimes girls scream.
You still screaming, Mike?
Still screaming.
Well, you got that look, Mike, you know what I mean?
See?
You still, back in the days, you had that good hair, but you still holding
I
on
put that
to
new
it.
now in it.
A lot of those guys with the good hair don't got that hair no more.
See?
They usually bald headed.
Hey, you still got yours, so you good.
You still holding
That's,
on.
thank God, on my father's side.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Ooh-wee. You see my natural pops, he had his hair until they buried his ass.
That's right. Yep. But I guess it was a good situation being the first, you know what I mean? It's like we never be forgotten, regardless of what.
Never.
And we are the first commercial hip-hop record of all times.
Full hip-hop, baby.
Yeah.
Definitely know
It was 19 minutes long, and then Miss Robinson edited it and edited it, and it was
And what
down
was
to
it? It wound up
15
being,
minutes.
6, 7 minutes?
No,
15.
it's 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
Yeah.
And the radio version was 7.
Yeah, 7. That's what I'm saying. I know
7
it was like
for the radio. That's still twice as long as a regular joint.
Man, that song seemed like it went on forever, man. I knew every word. I think I could still sing every word. I ain't gonna try to embarrass myself, but I think I
Thanks,
could
G,
still.
with the
But they played the whole
rap.
15 at first.
Yeah.
And then after after a while, when it got to be, okay, it's too long, let's cut it down. But they played the whole 15 at first.
Wow, that's crazy. Could you imagine that?
The sponsors were going crazy. Soda, soap, anything. Yo, I paid for this advertising time. Where's my commercial?
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't even imagine hearing a song on the radio for 15 minutes these days. Now we getting 2 minutes. We're not even getting
3 minutes, 30 seconds.
No, we're
Yeah,
not even getting
yeah.
3 minutes and 30 seconds. We're getting like
2:45 or
2:20
something.
now.
Yeah.
Like some of these records, I know a couple of records, Gorilla, her song was like 2 minutes and some change. I'm like, come on.
You know what song is longer and they played that?
Which one is
Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the limit.
Yeah, that was a long song, too.
Yeah, that shit was 17 minutes long.
But if you still played Rapper's Delight today at 15 minutes long, you wouldn't get tired of the record.
Nah.
It still would give you that same type of vibe it gave you back in 1979 all over again.
Yeah, because when each person starts another rhyme, it's iconic already.
Yeah.
Chicken tastes like wood, Imp the Dimp, and Guy said his first 10-minute rap. When we were recording it, I'm looking at, pass the mic.
I think that was
Greedy
the
motherfucker, pass the
first
mic.
record I knew word for word. I knew every word. Growing up as a kid, especially in Hollis, Queens, because we had LL, we had Run DMC, and we would see these people all over Salt and Pepper. Well, my boy right now is her baby daddy or her husband. I don't know if he's still around, but growing up in Queens for us, we grew up around that whole era. So it was for us. It was Russell and Def Jam.
Was Mom cooking chicken and collard greens?
Oh yeah, for sure. Grandma.
Back
Back then, that was grandma back then.
That's right.
But it was that, and then it was the Supreme Team. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, you got to figure out which way you want to go.
Wow, that
Right.
brings
And then you
back
had the
memories.
working class, but when you're looking at all of this flash, you kind of, you could be misled. You know what I mean? So
True that.
But your mom, she started Sugarhill Records. Everybody always gives her much love. I heard a couple of things out there going on in the streets where, KRS-One was kind of like talking mess, but
Yeah, but I actually spoke to him
Okay.
because I had seen him at an event that me, Mike, and a few other people went to, Lynn and all of us, and
Yep.
and I asked him like, yo, what is this all about? You know what I mean? Because you was never an artist on Sugarhill Records, and the crazy part about it is, Chris is a great dude, man, and I
Yeah.
always respected him as a great rapper,
Crazy
and a
skills,
great person.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? And and right next to Sugarhill Records was a cleaners on both sides of us, and Chris used to come there and put his clothes in the cleaners, and if I'm outside, we'd be out there talking and all that. So I really didn't understand where he was coming from with this whole situation, because to me, if Sylvia Robinson, my mom, didn't do what she did, where would anybody in the hip hop industry be today? She took the chance and she did what she had to do and did it. So after the conversation, I kind of figured out, I'm trying to figure out what he was talking about, and he had a deal with Jack Allen, which was Boogie Down Productions and B-Boy Records or whatever. And at the time, B-Boy Records, this was at the end of the peak of his record.
Okay.
So basically, it was maybe 5 years or 7 years after the album initiated and came out. So Jack Allen and my father was very good friends. So Jack Allen came over, did a deal with my father to put out the Criminal Minded albums. But this was, cassette, you know what I mean? So I think my father gave him an advance, and he put out, I don't know how many cassettes it was, but at the time, this was 5 to 6 years later after Criminal Minds was out and it blew up or whatever. So now it's at the part where it's flatlined.
Right.
So he did the deal with him, and my father put out a few records for him, and that was it. So when I spoke to him, he was asking me about what happened to the royalties or whatever concerning this record. I says, well, B-Boy Records had a deal with Sugarhill Records. It was Sugarhill Records' obligation to pay B-Boy Records, and it was B-Boy's Records to pay the royalties to you. Just like if you did a deal with Motown, and Motown to pay you, and then you pay your artists. Just like it's very simple. So and to me it was I never understood why you would be, asking for that from me, because he's a very intelligent guy.
Right.
So he knows his business, but he knows that royalties wouldn't be coming from me. It'd be coming from the record company has the copyrights, who owns whatever the Criminal Minded album, whatever they did with him. So we talked, and he said we was going to talk again later on. But me and Chris is cool. You know what I mean? I don't have no problems with him. I have no issues. But I just when people like to address the different things, I just think that people should say what it really is,
Right.
instead of coming out and trying to disrespect or basically condemn the person who started it all.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, there's a lot of misunderstandings out there.
Yeah, that's the music business, though.
Yeah, but you're going to
go
get
through
that. You know what I'm saying? It's people going to talk. You can't stop people from talking. People going to have their own perception, to whatever it is. But look, I still do business with Sugar Hill Gang. I still do business with Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5. We're still making money together all the time, right, Mike?
Yep.
Getting big checks, right, Mike?
Yep.
So
I bought a sandwich yesterday.
that's okay. So the bottom line to it is, our business is straight. You know what I mean?
Right.
At least,
Hey, we
because
get it.
if anything was crooked, it was my place to try to straighten it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what I did, and I straightened anything with any of my artists. Shy Rock, we and her had a conversation. You know what I mean? We talked. We're good. You know, whoever has anything else to say, step up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I ain't got no problem. I ain't hiding nothing from nobody and no one. You want
Okay.
to talk about it? Let's talk about it. Because a lot of these artists didn't sell no records on Sugar Hill. And you said you got beat. You got to sell records first
Yeah, to get beat.
to get beat,
Right.
right? So when you look at the people that are saying it, say to them, yo, well, how many records did you put out? And how much was a record back then? It was 12 inches with $2. You know what I'm saying? So if it was sold in the store for $2, you know, what did the distributor give us? You know what I mean? So the bottom line to it is you got to find out how many records these people put out before they say they jerked.
Yeah. Now we tried that. We tried our hand in the music industry, and it was like a bottomless pit. Like
Well-
we spent about $5 million. We went gold, but
Well,
no checks ever came
Well,
back.
the
Nothing ever
thing
came
you
back.
got to understand
snap.
is that with the music industry, whether you know it or not, it has a lot to do with luck, has a lot to do with timing,
Exactly.
and it has a lot to do with the right records. You know what I mean? Making right records. You know what I mean?
And I think our timing was off September 11th, 2001.
Okay.
So our timing was really off, you know, when the World Trade went down. So we pushed it back, I think, 2 weeks. But the build up to getting it out
Right.
and then having to push it back,
Right.
it's just, you know, I mean, we went gold, but it was just tricky, bro. It was
But even when you say that, right, you went gold, right? You sold 500,000 albums. So you figure, you know what? I sold 500,000. I'm due for something, right? So when you look back at your contract and you see that you got a 12 or 13% royalty rate, so just give and take, you were getting, say the record 500,000 sells $10 a piece. That's what, $5 million?
I mean,
Okay. So now $5 million, you got 10 or 12%. Let's just go with 10% royalty rate, even though it could be 12 or 15. I just don't want to throw the numbers.
okay.
Right. Say at 10% of $5 million, you would have ended up with what?
500,000.
500,000, right? Now out of your 500,000, you got to pay for marketing, you got to pay for your videos, you got to pay for making the record, the samples, you know, studio costs. So what are you left with?
I know we were paying for our own stuff. Like we had a JV deal with Universal.
Right, but the thing
But-
about it, the producer got to get paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then the people that do all the marketing, you know, back in
Everybody
those
gotta
days,
pay.
videos was $200,000-$300,000. Back in those days, you know what I'm saying? So you told one video is $200,000.
Yeah, we spent 750,000 on Saturday Girl.
Please.
Okay, so if they spend the money, they want their money back.
Yeah, no, we spent the money. They didn't spend the
If you spent the money, whoever spent the
Yeah,
money, they
yeah.
want their money back. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Before anybody gets paid.
Right.
Because if you gave me some money, you say, yo, Lee, invest this 100,000. If I make 101, you want your 100 back first, and the one is mine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the way it go. And people don't understand. They be like, oh, yeah, I sold all these records, but, you know, I ain't get royalties, I ain't get no money, I ain't get this. That's because you spent the money.
Yeah. Now, you know, a lot of people, you know, whatever business they get in, the fashion business, the music business, they don't understand that word, like that business. It's a lot in that, you know, in that word. Like, you know, you'll have somebody who come in and just think, oh, I just do a video, you know, do a couple of
I'ma blow up.
appearances and, you know, and I'm gonna be making a whole bunch of money. And like you said, it doesn't work like that.
No.
You know?
What
There's
about the
marketing,
what about the 360 deals that are now?
What do you think about that? I think these
I think-
360 deals
well,
are crazy to
You know,
me.
but people don't talk about those 360 deals the way they should because we didn't have 360 deals back then. But these record companies now feel that if they invest in you, say I invested $100,000 in you, marketing and all that kind of stuff, and the music didn't work out, and you went to acting, and now your acting is going off the roof. They figure that they put this money into you
They
to
should
make
be
you the
able to-
person that you are today, so they want a piece of that money.
Right.
So now, is it fair? I don't think so. That's just my point of view. But you know,
Right.
it is what it is. That's what people do. But you know, they just if you get on stage, they got a percentage. You know what I mean? Anything that you do, they want a percentage of it. Just like when we did this television show, and I didn't forget it. It was like they asked you in their contract, well, how much money do you earn? And you have to put down your earnings. And they figured that anything after that, they want a piece of. You know what I'm saying? So it's to your best advantage to, if you go and do TV or do whatever, if you only make 100,000, I make $1 million.
Right.
So anything after $1 million, I don't mind giving you a percentage, but I know I'm only making $100,000 a year, so it don't make a difference to me. You know what I'm saying? But they want that. You know what I'm saying? And it's in the paperwork that they give you. They look at like for instance, like with Cardi B with Love and Hip Hop. She blew up crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's TV, right? Before that, Love and Hip Hop.
Cardi was just a different breed.
She was different, but I'm just saying in general, it was first.
They attribute that to Love and Hip Hop, but
That's what they say, right? I mean, she got her shine from there, and from there, people liked her, loved her. She went making music, and she blew up
it
crazy.
was crazy. My boy Shaft, when he was managing her, he was telling me about her. He was like, "Yo, I want to bring her over and do something with you guys." And I told him, "All right, let's go." He said, "All right, I got to do this Love and Hip Hop thing first, then I'm gonna bring her around." That never happened because once she did Love and Hip Hop, she was gone.
She was gone.
She was gone. She put out
You know?
the record and she was gone.
So now these TV shows and everything, if you get to doing any television shows or anything, they're gonna make you put something down there. You know what I mean? Whereas they're gonna want a piece or whatever. And it is what it is. They figure that I made you.
So you guys, I know you guys have been doing business since '79. It's a long time. Yeah, I just celebrated over 40 years.
44.
44 years.
Yeah.
Wow. 44 years, man. I've been out there. I've been in business 31, and it seems like an eternity. So
Wow.
I can imagine you guys at 44 years. How is it now to still be out there, still touring and performing and whatnot, Mike?
It feels great because, black don't crack, baby. we still look mad young.
Yeah.
And we don't have the old people voice. No, none of that. I get my Dixie Peach and my shiny shoes, and I'm good. And I go on tour, and we still get standing ovations. People hoop and holler, jump up and down, giving you a pound all through the show.
Yeah, no.
It's great.
I think the most part of it is that when Mike and the Sugarhill Gang did their music, they did music for basically like forever type of songs, something like catalog songs they did, and that's what they respect, the catalog songs that they have, and that's what's carrying them on.
And you guys added a couple of new members now. I know Big Hank is.
Hank is gone, so they got Henry, and Hen Dog is in the group with them now, and Mike and Guy is still there. They got a DJ now because before they performed with live bands.
Yeah.
That's all. When Rappers Delight came out, Mike and them was on tour with live bands. It wasn't no DJ. It was none of that kind of stuff.
DJ.
It was live bands. That's why acoustically, Sugarhill Records always sounded the way they sounded. Because it wasn't a sample. It wasn't a drum machine. It was all live instruments.
Music.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even other groups on the Sugarhill label had our band recording the music for their records. Grandmaster, Melly Mel and them, The Sequence, Funky 4+1. And when we went out on the road, we took them, so there was no band to record with when we were on the road. But it was the same band. And our bass player was Doug Wimbish, who's now the bass player for Living Color.
That's interesting. You didn't even have a DJ back then.
No.
And I didn't even think about that.
And Mike and Guy and all of them, they were in groups with DJs. They was in crews, with the DJs. But when they went out on tour, and they had a live band, and it was
Your mother wasn't having that.
No.
Said, you gonna charge people how much money for you to play some records? No. And we had a 12-piece band.
Wow.
You remember Flip?
Flip's job was to do that. Flip across the stage during
And play the congas.
and play the he sure did. Play the congas and do flips across the stage.
Yes, sir.
Oh man.
And Flip was good for these quips. And oh my God. We were sitting around a hotel in Holland one time talking about how hard it was before everything jumped off. And I said, man, I remember eating stew like leftovers every day for about 4 days. And the whole room got quiet. Flip said, "Man, that's good eating." And he was good for stuff like that. We hit the deck. Oh, Flip.
Oh man, but you guys, I mean, even now with the whole 50-year hip hop, you know, I know you guys did Yankee Stadium, and I couldn't be there. I wanted to be there, but I just couldn't be there. But I caught it on TV, and I was like, man, these guys are still out here doing the thing. But how many artists do you have right now on Sugarhill?
We still have the same artists.
Same artists?
You know, but I'm more so involved with Mike and Hank. I mean, I'm sorry, Hank. Mike and the Sugarhill Gang, and me, Melly Mel, and Scorpio. We do a lot of work together as well. You know, we're still making money together.
That's good. That's good. It's a
And
long
we have-
time to
we
be
have-
making money together.
You know, sometimes, you know, in life, I feel that I could be wrong, but this is just my gut feeling. Is I just feel that the way you start things is the way you end things. And if you go apart from it, it'll work for a hot minute, but then, you know, it'll go right back to, you know. So I just think that, you know, we make more money together than to fighting each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, some people believe that though. You know, with some people, they get to a time in their life where, you know, they don't need the others anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Just look what happened.
Yeah.
Just look at New Edition. I mean, all those guys went solo, right? But together,
Yeah.
they make more money than ever. You know what I mean?
Doper records.
And they dope together, you know what I'm saying? Those guys are incredible. Like, they all were great artists, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you have these record companies putting stuff in your ear too, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, you need to go solo.
It's
you know,
always-
forget
it's
about
always
Dom,
the
you know
divide
what I
and
mean?
conquer.
We're gonna give you some money. and it looks good.
Yeah.
You know
They
what I'm
like,
saying?
I'm gonna take care of you.
Yeah,
Don't worry
yeah,
about
yeah.
them.
Some
I got
groups
you.
will never reunite.
Yeah,
Like,
and then, you
Lionel
know,
ain't going
once
back
they
to the Commodores.
Yeah, once they reunited, it was over.
Never.
That's one group that's fly no matter. Okay, Ralph did his thing
Yep.
by himself, and then the other three did their thing, and then Bobby did his thing, and they all had number 1 and 2 and 3 joints, dope records, not any trash. They would put out some Boys to Men. What? Come
And
on,
then,
man.
yeah, but then you couldn't hear the New Edition songs, the new Edition songs, because they wasn't performing together anymore.
Right, but when they got together,
It was magic.
you know, it's like we never left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those guys are incredible. I actually went to one of their concerts to go see them, and from the time I got to the concert, from the time they came on stage, everybody was standing up the whole goddamn show. And they was rocking, man. You know what I mean? And they was acting like they was young all over again, man. And it was a great show, man.
A badass group is a
Yeah.
badass group.
Yeah,
Period.
100%.
Yeah. But that happens a lot, whether it's in hip hop, whether it's in R&B, whether it's in fashion.
Look at
whatever,
look
you
at
know?
Wu-Tang. They touring together now. They doing it. They doing their thing.
Yeah.
You know, it
And
is what it is.
You know, I think you just get to a point where you get frustrated because most of the times the numbers ain't right behind the scenes, and you don't know that. So just the people that's involved with the group understands what's going on behind the scenes, and you know the people that's looking at them don't. You know, they don't know. They just think that everything is cool, but you know you have infighting and a lot of that stuff going on with these groups that you know causes them to break up and
That's
then
the
realize
groups that
you know.
won't get back together. But when you have a couple of members that are kind of antsy and want to do something else musically for like one CD or whatever, they're still a unit. Like you said, the Wu-Tang,
Yeah.
Method Man will come over here and do something, and then they'll get back. My man who passed away, he did something with everybody.
ODB, yeah.
Yeah, ODB, and then he came back, and hey, man, some groups are like that. They just want to flex a little bit.
Yeah, but some of them, they're just better about it. But they're better together, man. You know what I mean?
Oof, oof.
Because if that was the case, you know, you would see, you know, one artist out of the group, like you might see Raekwon doing shows or whatever, you know, Method doing shows, but together they get bigger money and,
Crazy.
you know, and they work great together, man. And it's all
And
those guys are
songs are
great too.
fire.
Oh my God, they're crazy.
Yeah, that's always the plan is to stay together, you know. But sometimes it just don't.
You just
it
can't
don't work out.
you just can't let money get involved with it, man. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
money's always gonna be the root of the problem, bro.
I know.
You know that from off top.
Yeah, but
like,
you know, if you're just honest with it, you know what I'm saying? It's just basically, look, man, this is what they offer, and be like, yo, let's do it together.
yeah.
Or yo,
But-
go ahead and sign, and then you know we rock out together.
Because
you know?
I know a few groups, and usually the person in control is not as honest as he could be, because he's probably the one being taken care of the most. So he's going to tell you whatever he want. You know,
Yeah.
instead of being truthful with you, and he
That's the one
you know,
get
that's
his
your
ass
boy.
beat, too.
Mike and Guy and Hank, they always stayed one. You know what I mean? They never try to beat each other. They never, you know, they were always, you know, I guess it has a lot to do with their upbringings as well.
Yeah,
You know
of
what
course.
I mean? And
Yeah,
And the time,
because
you
we
know,
were never dirty, my thing is, with each other.
and up to now, they still
Never.
they still won. You get them in one room together, man. It's like back in 1979 all over again. They snapping, they going
can
off on each
imagine.
other. They, you know,
Oh, me and Guy, we snap hard on each other.
yeah.
Ooh,
they go hard. And
crazy.
then they get on the stage, and they get off the stage and go hard again.
Yeah.
Then they go about their business.
Yeah, even with us, me and my guys, like, people don't understand our situation, because one day we could be arguing and like, man, go ahead, and then the next, and even later on that day, we're like, man, what you want to eat, man? Let's go out to dinner. Like, it's that never even happened. You know what I mean? Like, so it's crazy. I know, Mike, we was talking earlier. You know, I was discussing some of my health issues with you. We were talking about diabetes, and I know you're dealing with that right now.
I ain't got that. My man who looked like me, he
I was dealing with it too.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, man. I
That shit
was
is so
telling
whack.
Mike earlier. I was like, my sugar. I didn't realize it. I was just tired one day, like for a couple days straight, and I knew I was getting enough sleep, and I couldn't understand why I was so tired. So I'm sitting at work, and I'm nodding. I'm nodding like I'm a dope fiend or
his shit
something.
was crazy when he found out.
Excuse me. And my jaws, I was gritting my teeth, grinding my teeth, and I was like going to sleep, and I couldn't stop going to sleep. I was like, what the hell's going on? So I just put my head back on the chair, and I just kind of went to sleep, and my teeth shifted, like, and it woke me up. And when I woke up, I was like, oh man. I got up, I went outside, like, just tried to get some fresh air. Later on that night, I went by my mother-in-law's house, and she was like, you all right? You know, you don't look too good. You know, when's the last time you checked your sugar? And I was telling her the symptoms, and she checked my sugar, and my sugar was 594.
That's crazy.
So she was like, she said, you about to go and, you know, once,
Yeah.
well, she didn't tell me. She was like, that's no good. You know, you way over. You got to go to the doctor, get that checked out. So when I went to the doctor, they said, you were about to go into sugar coma, but you were fighting it. That's so all the grinding of the teeth and the nodding, they was trying to take you under, but you was fighting it. And I was like, man. And,
Mine was 540.
My
you know,
son's was 1,300.
what?
Darnell.
Darnell? You know Darnell
Darnell
came
got
up here
sugar?
not too
Yeah.
long ago.
So so what happened was,
talking about that, not diabetes.
yeah, Darnell he was in the house years ago,
Oh.
and he was sick for a few days, and his mother was giving him Ensure, you know what I mean, to try to help him feel better, whatever, not knowing that, you know, Ensure is
That
full
was-
with sugar, you know what I'm
Sugar
saying?
and that shit.
So she was like, I'm gonna let him stay home one more day, and then I'll take him to the hospital if not, Leland. So I said, nah, he's getting too small. And he was like 15, 16 years old, something like that. And I said, nah, let me take him to the hospital now. When I took him to the hospital, the nurse that was working here and the doctor was so afraid that when she came to this, I never forget getting chills talking about it, but when she came to talk to me, she was sweating. She's like, I never seen nobody with 1,300 sugar level in my life. You know what I mean? So they sent them out of Holy Name to Patterson to another hospital.
Wow.
And that's where they dealt with it and brought the sugar level down or whatever. And it was crazy. So that's how, you know, he noticed he got sugar diabetes. And then myself, I had caught COVID and I was hospitalized. And they told me I had diabetes in there. And I was taking the insulin for like 8 months to a year. And one day I said, you know what, let me just change my diet and change up things. So my numbers was like 120, 130. The day I didn't take the insulin, And then the next day it was 130, 120. And then I said, okay, I'm eating good, so my numbers is low. My numbers is good. So I kept eating that way. And I haven't been on insulin in a year and a half.
Yeah.
I haven't taken nothing, no insulin, no nothing. I just changed my diet and everything else. And actually, I was, I just came from Atlanta last week, and I take my thing with me just in case, because I've never known what it felt like to be low sugar or high sugar, because I ain't know.
I could tell you, bro. So
no, I had the low one when I was in Atlanta.
okay.
So I didn't eat, all day. I was working in the house, whatever. And I went to the mall, and I started feeling lightheaded.
Yep.
Started feeling nauseous.
Sweating.
Started feeling like I was getting ready to start sweating and pass out or something. So I called Darnell. I said, yo, Darnell, what does it feel like to have low sugar? He says, you feel lightheaded. He said, get you some candy, get you drink some juice right away, or get you a soda and drink it. Because I haven't had physical Pepsi without being cooked Pepsi Zero in, about a year now. So I got to the house. I pricked my finger and said, let me check my sugar level, see what's going on here. That shit was 89.
Yeah.
So I said,
Still ain't bad.
But it's low for me because I've never had 89.
Yeah.
So I drank the whole thing of apple juice, took a piece of candy. About a half an hour, 45 minutes, I was back to normal again. You know what I'm saying? So with me, with the diabetes, I just think that it has a lot to do with your eating habits. You know what I mean? And, I like rice. I like, bread too. But I just like, fuck it, man. I don't want, either the shots or this. I don't want to do it. So I stopped. And it's been a year and a half since I've taken anything.
Yeah. Well, I still take medicine for mine. My father, I was explaining to Mike earlier before you guys got here, my grandfather on my mother's side was on dialysis. My grandfather on my father's side died of sugar diabetes. My father he was doing insulin. He had sugar diabetes. So it was almost inevitable that it was coming my way. And I was eating, I really noticed it when I was working, because, you're working all these hours and you're running the streets, and before you know it, it's like, all right, let me grab something to eat. And it may be McDonald's, it may be whatever, because, that's whatever's open at that time that you're trying to eat. And then that's when I realized that I started going off the rails. Like, I started developing high blood pressure, and my sugar started getting high. And then I used to try to I'm going to drink, but I'm only going to drink this liquor because it ain't got no sugar in it. Yeah. And then I'm going to eat this, but I'm only going to eat rice every once in a while. And so then, like you said, you come to the realization that you got to just eat right. I stopped drinking.
Me too.
So I ain't been this weight that I am now. I think about 187 pounds since I was in high school.
But you feel good though, right?
But I feel great.
I tell you what, let me enlighten your crowd about this. You don't have to drink something sweet in order for your sugar to go up. You could drink milk. It'll make your sugar go up.
Wow.
You don't have to have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You would have a bologna sandwich. If you don't watch it, if you're predetermined for diabetes, everything will make your sugar go up. But it's not a lost cause. Sugar is in your blood because it's not being used by your body for strength. Your body, your organs need sugar. Your stomach in order to work, your intestines, your brain in order to work. But when you got sugar diabetes, it's stuck in your veins and arteries. And that's not good because it should be in your body, but it's stuck in your thing. So everything you eat, just be careful. And everybody should get a glucometer, a sugar testing unit.
Yeah, I got one right on my living room table.
I got one you don't have to stick. I got a little monitor here. I don't stick my fingers no more. I hold it up and read it like a little cell phone.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it tells me the numbers. All that old sticking the fingers, old-fashioned shit, no. I'm not doing that, no.
Yeah, but I mean, since I've been off it, like every night, I tend to, let me check my sugar.
Yeah.
And the highest it's been is like 160. And that's because, and that night it was 160. I went to Morton's Steakhouse and I had French fries. I had, they got a bread pudding there that's out of this world with caramel and ice cream. So I had, and I knew it was going to go up high.
But
you know
every
what I mean?
now and again you can.
Yeah, but I try
160,
I try my best to keep it like 130, 125, what I mean? Those kind of numbers. And naturally it's been that way. Anytime I plug my finger, it's been like 125, 127. So I couldn't understand why the doctor was like, oh, you got diabetes, you got to take this needle 3 times a day, this is that. No, nigga, I'm changing my appetite, man. I'm not doing that, man, because that insulin kind of messes everything up, man. Your kidneys, I started reading up on it, mess up your kidneys, mess up all kind of stuff later on in life. And, that's what I don't want.
Yeah. Health is wealth, man,
Yeah.
and the more we share our stories to other people who may have it,
Absolutely.
because I know my cousin, he has it bad. He's on insulin, and, he be going through it.
Yeah, but he probably, does he eat right?
No.
That's the problem.
And he want to drink, and and I'm like, bro, you got to put all that down, man. You can't be peer pressured into that anymore.
Fuck that shit. Nigga
Yeah.
said no.
I'm going to find a way to make gravy good for you.
Well, let me
I'll
know.
eat pudding with gravy on that shit.
I love gravy too.
Oh, give me some gravy, brother. I'm going to find a way to make gravy good on everything.
I just love rice and I love bread, man. But I just stay away from it now. I just fuck
You
it,
eat
man.
white rice or rice-a-roni?
I don't give a fuck if it's white, brown, or yellow. I'm eating it. So I have 2 or 3
I'm a
teaspoons
potato
of it.
guy.
Yeah, like what
Like
I
when I
do
go
now,
to Mount Fuji or stuff like that, I eat a little rice. I do have the rice, but
because I feel like I'm withering, man. Like, my pants, my belts don't fit me no more. I got to put extra holes in them. My pants be flopping,
We'll tell
sliding
you, I
on my
lost
butt.
all this weight.
yeah.
I didn't got down. I done went from a 36 to a 32, thinking that I might be a 30 soon. I'm like, what is going on? Like, he just be withering away. But like you said, just a spoonful. My mother always says this, in moderation, son, in moderation. So, I have a little rice here and there. I try to stay away from it. I just do the vegetable thing. I eat a steak, asparagus, and, some collard greens or something, or some black eyed peas. I just miss all the rice, But what you guys got going on? What else you guys got going on for this year, the end of this year?
Still doing shows.
Yeah.
They'll never stop calling us for that.
Yeah, that's good.
They always want to see us because when we do a show, it's not rowdy. It's not a bunch of profanity. It's not misogynistic. We don't diss women. We don't diss brothers. It's none of that. And it ain't square and it ain't whack. Oh, man, your show must be soft. No, it's not. That's why we still doing it, because the public loves us, because we rock the house.
Right.
Without all that foolishness.
Where's the next performance? Your next performance?
Last night. What is today? Tuesday? No.
It's Tuesday.
It was Saturday in San Fran.
San Francisco. They opened. They did the halftime show for the Cowboys San Francisco game.
Oh, what? Okay.
Yeah.
Where my team
So y'all
got
getting
their
big
ass
shows. Y'all-
whipped.
And they just got. They were just in the Hall of Fame. What was it? Not the Hall of Fame.
Walk of Fame?
Walk of Fame in
Walk of Fame
London.
over in London.
No, that's dope.
Yep.
That's dope. Man, you guys deserve it, man. You guys are put in the work and paved the way for, a lot of these artists that's out here today. So, kudos to you guys. And, just to be, sometimes people take for granted how you're 44 years in and you're doing NFL games still. You know what I'm saying? Like, even us.
You know what it is? It's that they can relate to, when they say Sugarhill Gang, they can relate to blacks and whites.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And this is like Mike said, to the black, to the white, the red,
Red and the brown,
purple, and
purple.
yellow.
Purple and yellow. But first, I gotta.
Bang, bang.
And I tell you what, we've worked with every iteration of music, period. Rock, hip hop, and pop. When we first came out, we were doing shows with Curtis, and then here comes Public Enemy, and Run DMC, and then my man with the froggy voice,
Ja Rule.
Ja Rule.
I just saw him the other day, too.
And all these different rock acts. And we still hang tough. I don't know how many shows I've done with.
I mean, you guys
Brett
have one of the
Michael
most
and,
iconic songs out, period. Like, that's iconic.
3 joints. 3 main joints. Eighth Wonder, which is my favorite. Apache, it's between Apache and Rapper's Delight, according to the world. But that groove on Eighth Wonder, to me,
It's crazy.
bam, 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 Come on, man.
Yeah.
Woo!
Taking me back now.
And you guys still have, we still hold a place in #1 hip hop song of all times with The Message. #2 is the Rolling Stone magazine named The Message as the #1 hip hop song of all times. #2 was Rapper's Delight. And I think Apache and Eighth Wonder was in the top 10, 15.
Wow.
So we still hold that spot. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Listen, man, those, like I said, all of those songs are iconic, and you know, and it's the beginning of hip hop. You know, they talk about hip hop being. I never knew hip hop was 50 years, but we ain't gonna get into all of that because I thought, you know, it was around the time when you guys came out that hip hop started. That's what I was
Commercially,
commercially.
1979.
Yeah, but
Now, I guess they were doing it in the park or whatever. Like, and another thing that a lot of people don't understand is, yes, it probably did start from the Bronx. You know what I mean? I don't know because I wasn't around. You know, I was a lot younger at the time. But whatever they were doing in New York City, we were doing in Jersey as well.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
real, for real.
It's just that the delivery was much more commercialized in New Jersey than it was in the city. You know, you are a product of your environment. You know what I mean? So basically, you know, you could anywhere I go, person say, "Oh, you from New York?" I could tell by your delivery, how you talk. Like, you know what I mean? But being from Jersey, you know, it was a lot more proper. You know what I mean? So Mike's and Guy's delivery was on just another level of hip hop. You know what I mean? And it probably wasn't accepted by a lot of people, but they couldn't do nothing about it because, you know, again, these guys were the first to do it. So, you know, it was going on in Jersey as well too, but, you know, who knows? You know what I mean?
yeah,
And his mother,
the Bronx is claiming it.
his mother worked so fast. Back then, you know, you kind of take it for granted. You can't really chronologically appreciate it until you look back. We auditioned for Rapper's Delight on a Friday night. She went to a pizza place where Hank worked. He jumped in the car with that beautiful 98 with pizza sauce and dough and meat and all kind of shit all over him. And he auditioned. And Master G was coming from a phone booth making a call. And he said, "What y'all doing back here?" He said, "We're going to make a record. We're going to use him." And he said, "Well, I can get down too." He jumped in the car. They started rhyming. And my DJ suggested Good Times for the track. And they all met up at Miss Rob's house. And I kind of tagging along. Hank and G, back and forth, battling. And Miss Rob said, "I don't know who to choose." And I'm saying to myself, and I was, to put it mildly, in dire straits financially, bro. Like, no key to no home, nothing.
Right.
I put it out there, you know, it is what it is. I went up there, and I kept saying to myself, say something. It was about 3:15 in the morning. I said, "Miss Rob, you know, I could rap too." And she heard my voice on the tape, and I was sick, and it was whack. She was nice. She was really nice. She said, "Okay, baby, let me know what you got." I looked around that room. I took a deep breath. I said, "The hip, hop, the hibbit, dibby, hip, hip, pop it, you don't stop, the rocket to the." She said, "Oh, snap." I started talking about everything, the dog, Mutzi, everything. And then she pointed to Hank. "Okay, Hank, hotel, motel. Okay, G, come in." And we would trade off. And she said, "Oh, Lord, I don't know who to pick. I'm not going to make this choice. My favorite number is 3 because she had the Moments, 3 guys, and some other groups." She said, she said like this, "I'm going to marry the 3 of y'all. Come down Monday and we'll make a record." You know how people in this business are, in any business. Yeah, and then when you ain't never going to. It'll be years. That Friday, bro, technically it was Saturday morning. So about 54 hours later, we're in the studio.
Making a record.
Cutting Rapper's Delight.
Wow.
And we did the vote. The music was done in 8 hours. The track, 15 minutes long, was done in one take.
Oh, it was one
Except
take?
for one time when the first time I passed it to Hank, I said, "Come on, Hank, sing that song." I didn't hear nothing. He just looking at me. Pass off, motherfucker. We doing what we do on record.
Check it out.
I said, "Come on, Hank, sing that song. Check it out." I'm CASN. I said, "Oh, shit." And guy did his rhyme, 80 damn verses. And I'm like, pass off, motherfucker. But that song was 15 minutes long, brother. One take. We didn't stop any more after that. Only time we stopped is when she already put a break in the middle where it went back to the intro. Ba-dam, ba-ba-da-bam, and then it went back into the rhymes.
Right.
15 minutes, Jack.
Oh, man.
One stop. That's it.
Wow.
And people don't know about that song. Oh, man, y'all wasn't talking about the real shit. Shut up. Nobody was.
Yeah, back then that was.
It was a
man,
different
listen,
ball game. You know what I mean?
People talking about partying and having a good time.
When
talking
you
about
listen
shooting
to
people.
like I was a DJ and I DJed on a lot of records as well. But when you listen to some of those mixtapes I got from like Harlem World and T Connection, and you listen to Mel rap and these guys rapping, it was a different kind of rap.
Yeah, it was
you know what I'm saying?
different.
You know.
What do you think about today's just the state of today's art, current rap situation?
All right, which way is the man dream? I gotta go with this. No.
Today's rap, look, it is what it is. I'm just
Wow.
glad to be a part of something that my mom, Sylvia Robinson, created. And I look at it like, rap changes, just like anything else changes. But it has to come back to its original form sometime. And I think that, I love all these rappers and love what they're doing. And, I wish everybody the best. But to me, if I had to do it all over again, I would want the Sugar Hill Gang and, because they know how to make records, man. They know how to make songs that's here forever. You know what I mean? A lot of these rappers that we hear now, these songs is in for now, man.
Yeah, it's not forever.
And then you can't name me a lot of these songs that you would remember, for the rest of your
The
life.
titles, forget
You know
about
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's some records, some artists that has a few, like Jay has a few, it's a bunch of them, but you can't really,
Yeah. And
I
at
tell
the
you
end of
what.
at the end of the day, the longevity is what really matters.
tell me about a record that you can play today in front of thousands of whites, blacks, Puerto Ricans that they would know.
That
You know what I
crowd will be mixed, Jack. A third and a third and a third, and then throw some Asian people in.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I knew the song was going to be big,
Yeah.
but 44 years later,
Yeah.
crazy. In fact,
And I
In
still
fact,
know it. Like I said, I still know it word for word. Like you put it on, I still know it word for word.
the song was recorded in 79.
Mm-hmm.
In 65, 64, 65, I saw the movie A Hard Day's Night with the Beatles. And the girls running after him and screaming and all this. I said, I got to do that when I get older.
Well,
And sure enough, I get on the mic, do this song, and girls losing their mind. And they're chasing us. I know that scream, I know that sound. And it's behind me. It's not in front of me on a TV set or a movie. It's because of us, and I'm 1/3 of this, and it's behind me. Ah! And girls they don't get strong, they get strong. We jump in the car and they start rocking the cabin like, oh shit, go, drive. Man, come on.
Well,
Wait.
Mike, I'm sorry, but
Okay.
one thing about it is, Mike, what people can't forget is you are the first voice of hip hop.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? I don't want nobody to forget that. You know what I mean? Like, Wonder Mike is the first voice that you hear
I try to keep it on the humble.
in hip hop.
now listen, man.
Truth is truth.
I appreciate you guys pulling up on me today, man. This is historic. just having.
Do we get some FUBU hats before we leave?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I got any here, but
Don't do that now. Don't do that now.
You know,
Don't do that
shirts,
now.
Anything, FUBU.
Yeah, I got shirts.
I want the jacket.
I know they got. I know
me
they
get
got
greedy, I
stuff
want
for
the
the
jacket.
big brothers.
Yeah, we
FUBU
got you.
makes some
got
big
you. You look
shit.
like you're about a XL, 2X tops.
2X. What you got bigger?
I got,
Although I'm not 398 like I was, and then went down to 327, thinking I'm sporting. Till I saw a picture like last week at 327. No, I'm 245 now, Jack.
okay.
That's the same way I am, Mike.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes, sir.
I was 260.
245.
245.
I'm like, what? Hey, baby, stop doing in my ass.
Well, I really appreciate being here, and I thank you for having us here.
Thank you guys.
And
for
if there's
pulling up,
anything
man.
else that you would ever need from any of us, we're all here 100% for
if
you.
This
guys-
is live, right?
Huh? No, this is this is live.
Can you send us?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send me
got
something.
You. I got you.
And I appreciate you, brother.
And I tag you guys, and you know I already follow you, so I'll
Oh, thanks.
make sure
Appreciate
you
it.
guys are connected.
Mike, you
with
not on
this.
Instagram? You have an Instagram page?
Underwear.
I said, do you have
swear
a?
that's-
No, I said, do you have an Instagram page?
No, I gotta get one. I always or what's that? A Facebook or
Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah.
What's better? I don't know. 'Cause
You know, Instagram
you
is
can't
good.
see the motherfucker. I can't see those particular. Anyway,
Well, you go in there, you'll see some things you want to see.
But like I said, I appreciate you,
brother.
guys for pulling up
See?
on me. And anytime you got anything that you guys want to, you know, any artists you want to bring through, just let me know.
Appreciate
All right?
you, man.
All right, appreciate you. All right,
oh,
Mike.
shit. I don't want to knock over nothing.
Where's the restaurant?
That's what's
It's right out here past the elevators.
To your left or right?
Yeah, signing out.
Take a. I said a hip hop, you don't stop. Check it out. It's your man Wonder Mike, baby. Sugarhill in the house. And I'm at FUBU Radio. That's right, FUBU Radio. You know what it is. How? Keep it locked.